dancers, welcome back to my channel. I'm Claudia Dean and here today we are joined with Zoe Brady. Zoe is just 15 years of age and trains at Annette Roselli Dance Academy. Today I'm going to be taking you through a tutorial on how to master turns in second, and I'll be demonstrating this on Zoe. And also don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel to keep up with all the amazing tips. Just to let you know too, dancers, a few weeks ago I actually asked Zoe to do a turn in second and she was having difficulties with them, and we've worked really hard at them the past few weeks. So I just want to let you know that if you do have trouble with them, don't worry, just follow these tips because they've worked so well for Zoe and I know that you'll be able to achieve them too. Tip number one. Okay, now Zoe, I'm going to get you to prepare into your fourth lunge when you're about to take off for your turn in second. Now my first tip is basically I want you to be really sure that your two hips are over the top of your right big toe. Okay, the reason why I talk about this is because when you go to rise up for your turn in second, I want you to be able to do it within one count, okay? If your weight is over the top of your back foot at all, you'll find you'll have to go shift, shift, which isn't ideal. Okay, now that your hips are over the top of that big toe, can you do a rise up in second? And one. Good. Tip number two. Tip number two is about your preparation and how we're going to actually get into the turn in second. So if you can go to your fourth position here. So this is your count one. Count two, you're going to actually take this arm to second position, and I want you to do a slight allonge with the hands. When you take your arm to second though, I want you to make sure that this arm, it goes towards the speaker. So you can see the speaker, it's not directly to the side, it's actually on your diagonal. Okay, the reason why I say this is if your arm goes any more out to the side, it's probably going to go behind you when you go up. So you want to try and basically keep it to the speaker. On count two, there's another correction I have for you. You have to deepen your front fondue. Okay, so count one, you're placed. Count two, you take your arm and deepen the fondue. Count three, you go up into the releve. Boom. Perfect. And obviously on that count, your arms join to fifth. Tip number three. Now Zoe, if you can go to your preparation position there. So as we've gone through, you're here on one, open the arm to the speaker, deepen the fondue on two, now up on three. Now when you go up on three, if you just lift the leg for me in second, we're going to talk about this position. Can you try and get this dot to face the audience? So that's it. The underneath of the thigh and this part of the leg is facing the audience, okay? The reason why I say this is because I want your two hips, if you have a look at them, I want your two hips to be completely level when you're turning. So make them even more level. Good, like that. So obviously if the hips are square when you're turning, you can relax. If the hips are square when you're turning, the turn will be absolutely fine. If the hips are slightly off when you're turning, most likely the turn won't be fine. So just make sure when you do lift the leg up to second, you're thinking about rotating from under and you're making sure that the two hips stay completely square.
Tip number four.
Now Zoe, you're going to apply tip number three that we just said, so if you can lift up your leg in second. Now tip number four is actually about making sure that your leg is at a really clear 90 degrees when you're doing your turn in second. So basically if your leg's slightly below 90 like this, you'll definitely be dragged towards the leg because the gravity is going to go towards that leg that's out, okay? So we want to try and lift it at 90 when we're spinning around. Probably actually think of lifting it slightly above 92. When you do prepare and you go 1, 2, 3, I would think about having it probably almost 2 centimeters above 90 degrees, like that, just so you know that it's definitely going to reach that height. I think if you, in your head, if you think of 90, we'll probably get it slightly below, so just go slightly above. Tip number five. Okay, Zoe, put your arms into third. Now, we're going to take it to second, and now we're going to lift it and allonge, that's it. Now we're going to lift it up to fifth. So tip number five is about how your arms are placed in fifth, which is so important. So if your arms are slightly off in the turn, that's enough to tip you and make you fall a certain direction. So what I would recommend, if you can just face on the diagonal so the audience can see. Now, see where your elbows are? I want you to pin them back so they're in line with your ears. That's it. And now I want your forearms, so from your elbows to your fingertips, I want them to actually be slightly forward, and then can you get your two fingers to touch at the top? Perfect. So now go on fast. So do your arms feel almost like they're in a locked position? So your elbows are back, forearms forward, and then the fingertips are locked. That's it. That's how they're going to be in the turn. Tip number 6. This one's actually my favorite tip of all. Now Zoe, I have a little phrase that I always coach my dancers on, as you know. So if you can go to your preparation position again. Now you're going to say to yourself, turn, lift, flip. After you've done the preparation 1, 2, 3, you're going to say turn, lift, flip. Now, turn is obviously you turning. The lift, put your arms up to 5th. The lift is going to be lift, that's it. And the flip is going to be you landing into first arabesque. That's it. Okay, so when you're going around, you're going to go turn, fingertips, lift, and then flip. Perfect. Now let's try one. Oh, very good. Tip number 7. Tip number 7, I'm focusing on the underneath leg, so your right supporting leg. And basically, I want you to feel like your inside thigh and your inside heel are basically leading the turn around. Now Zoe, in your preparation position, you're going to get this right inside thigh, the right calf, and the right heel. Those 3 areas are going to be leading you around in the turn. So if you can just try and get that feeling. Tip number 8. Now the reason why I've added in this tip is because when Zoe was having trouble with her turns in second, this is the tip that helped her the most. So hopefully it helps you too. Now Zoe, we're going to talk about the leg when it's up in second for when you turn. Do you remember when your leg was swinging forward? Okay, so I'm going to obviously show you now how we keep the leg back when we're turning. So just take your preparation position. Now when your leg goes up in second, so if you can just lift it up in second for me, basically just do a slight pivot to that corner there. I want you to feel like your leg is the last thing that comes forward, okay? Your leg, imagine that someone's almost pulling it back when you're turning. So do more of a pivot, go pivot, pivot, keep going, and the leg stays back. That's it. So when you're turning, you have that feeling of the leg almost being like this the whole way round. So just try one for me now. Now keep it back. Better, that's it, good. And if you ever find that thinking of that doesn't work, I think the next thing that you could think of would be this right hip going one way and the left hip going the other way. So they're almost separating from one another like that. Okay, just try another one. So right hip going to the right, left hip going to the left. Bit better, good. Now Zoe, how about we try turn second, thinking of all those tips. Okay, just do your best. Those 8 tips all at once. Let's go. That's all right. Okay. Good, okay. That's all right. Yeah? Whoa, that was good. Do you want to have another go? Oh. Good. Double. Fabulous. Okay, really well done, Zoe. Dancers, we hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Once again, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and also let me know in the comments below which tip you love the most, because I love hearing your feedback, and I'll see you in my next video.